Hey guys, my Discord server is finally public, so if you'd like to join, click the link in the description, and make sure to read the rules. Hey guys, Zero here with another single shoutout, an offshoot of Zero's album review, where I talk about a single I've listened to recently. Today, we're going to be talking about the new single from Dance Gavin Dance, Prisoner. So just full disclosure, Dance Gavin Dance is my favorite band. So I might be a little biased in some things, but one thing I do want to talk about with them is it always takes me a bit to get into their tracks. Usually when a single drops for a new album, I don't love it immediately. It's been like that for the last few singles. But this one's different. I actually really like this track right out of the gate. And there's a few reasons why, which I'll get into in a second. First off, this is going to be the first single. The video's out for it too. This is the first single off their new album, Afterburner, which drops on April 24th. And after hearing the single, I immediately pre-ordered the vinyl. So if that gives you any indication that I like this track, I like it a lot. This is the first of their singles where I immediately got into it when I heard it. Like I said, previous singles of theirs I've had to let sit for a bit, listen to it a few more times before I got into it, but this one immediately was it. A few things to note. Tillian's singing is getting more normalized. He's no longer doing the very high-pitched, like, and raspy, not raspy, but like dry high pitch that he usually does. He still is, of course, a higher pitched, a tenor or alto voice. So he's going to have that higher pitch, whatever, no matter what. But it's a lot more tolerable now. He seems to be like cutting back on the like, let's go high, and more on the let's make it sound good. So, which is good because he's kind of been bouncing around through that. The other thing too is John Mess is always great with his scream vocals. They sound fantastic, just as good here as they have in the last few albums since he's gotten his vocal work done. and what I really want to talk about with this track is it's got like there's a little bit more of a harder feel to it. It's still got that Dance Gavin Dance like like melody and like guitar stuff that I love about them. But there's a little bit like of a Deftones feel with a certain part of the song, and when you hear it, you'll know. I know that's like every band sounds like the Deftones. It's kind of like a meme at this point, but it's just a little bit of a heavier riff that they haven't done in a long time. My first reaction was it reminded me a lot of stuff from like Downtown Battle Mountain, which is one of the band's best albums. But it has its own sound, and it's still familiar, if that makes sense. I love the guitar work in this as always. Will Swan is a fucking master of guitar. And if you've listened to any of their other albums, you know what it sounds like. It's just really friggin' great. And I think this is going to be the first track off the album. I almost called the album Prisoner. The album Afterburner, Prisoner. This track. So it's kind of what they did with Mothership when they released Chucky as the first track. Well, it wasn't. I don't know if it was counted as a single because it didn't have a music video initially, but they released that track first to get people hyped about the album. So yeah, I think what's good about this too is it sounds like that Dance Gavin Dance took the time to like take their time and like evolve the sound a little bit. The problem with Dance Gavin Dance is they would recently they would release an album every year, and that's fine. That's great if you can do it. But by the time we got to Natural Selection, which a lot of people say is a really good album, I was starting to feel the fatigue from them because Mothership was fantastic. Instant Gratification was also a great album, but I wasn't gripped the same way with those albums like that I was when I listened to Natural Selection. and not to say that that's a bad album, but it's inferior to the previous albums. So that's the thing. I think also Dance Gavin Dance fans will be held over because they did that remaster of Acceptance Speech, which I didn't hear much of a difference, but it's for somebody, I guess. But yeah, this is a good start. And like I said, it takes me a while with their singles because almost every single they've released, except for Summertime Gladness, which is the only one I can say was an instant fit, and Pussy Vulture. What's with the EP ones? Why are the EP ones easy for me to get into? This one gripped me right away, and I really enjoyed it. So, if you're not sure, listen to the track. It's there. It'll give you a feel of what they're going for. It got me to pre-order the album, so there's that. But yeah, so before I end this video, just a heads up, I'm going to be slowing down on my music review content for a bit. The last month, I've kind of been popping these out like real quick, and I don't want this to turn into just a music review channel. I obviously do gaming content, and I talk about movies and other things. But now that I've beefed up my music content more, I'm probably not going to be doing it as much. So if you're here on the channel for this, I'm still going to do them. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to be doing music content, but I'm going to slow down a little bit to focus on other content. So if you're here for the music content, hey, I've got a whole lot of other stuff that I've been doing for the past 10-ish years on this channel. Go check it out. Anyways, leave me comments down below on singles or albums you want me to check out and give my thoughts on. I may not take every single one, but I appreciate you guys giving me them because it gives me more music to listen to and more music to talk about, which I love doing. You guys know where to find me. I'm available on Facebook.com/Zeromaster fan page, on Twitter @Zeromaster. If you like this video and want to get early access to these videos, behind the scenes extras and a whole lot more, Patreon.com/Zeromaster is a great way to do so. And I stream 3 times a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch.tv/Zeromaster. Thanks again for watching another one of these reviews, and I'll see you on the next one. Rock on.